Lead story today, Hunter Biden found guilty. That's what the main topic will be. What's up? Doing a pop-up live. Hunter Biden was found guilty on all 3 counts in his federal firearms trial, if you haven't heard yet. Charges included lying on a federal form. I'm going to go into these I haven't talked about the trial at all. I'm going to go through. There's a good thread by Maya Cathell that breaks it down that I want to go through. But just real quick, generally speaking, then we'll get into the details. Kind of like a deep dive. He was convicted of making false statements on a federal firearms transaction form. I'm going to talk about why I have problems with this. When he purchased a gun in 2018, he falsely denied being an addict or using illegal drugs at the time of the purchase. Legal possession of a firearms. He was also found guilty of possessing the firearm while being an unlawful user, an addict to a controlled substance, which is violation of federal law, which is unconstitutional. Felony firearm charge, the 3rd count related to unlawfully obtaining and possessing the gun while knowing his addiction status, which is classified as a felony under federal law, which is also unconstitutional. I'm not asking, I'm saying that definitively. Now, you can go after somebody unconstitutionally. We are in a civil war. So I like to break things down and compartmentalize. Forget about whether you should go after Biden or not. This is Hunter Biden. The laws are unconstitutional. End stop, period. Just know if you're going to go after somebody that they are unconstitutional, and that's what you're doing. You need to know, you need to consciously be doing it. And I am not necessarily against it. I think the big takeaway is strategically, what are we doing here? I broke this down just for me. What does the strategy look like when we're in this war? And I talked about this with Fauci, Dr. Fauci, going after him. You can use this for anyone. You need to define these things because we are in post-truth. I'm going to break down and show you why I agree with the great Robert Barnes, great lawyer. I'm a big fan of Viva and Barnes, where he said before this verdict came down this past Sunday, Robert Barnes said Joe Biden wants a guilty plea or a guilty verdict. He said Jill Biden was in court, and I thought it was in court to help her stepson. No, they don't like each other. So I don't know why I was thinking that. Jill wasn't there for that. They wanted him guilty, allegedly, in my opinion. But when we look at it, if you're going to go after somebody for an unconstitutional manner, that's just a matter of self-defense. That's not, that is just, they're going after you. Don't even take Donald Trump out of this. They're going after you, normal citizens, unconstitutionally every day, from Jay Sixers to Dexter Taylor. So to go back at them unconstitutionally is just self-defense. That's not even going on the offense. I'm fine with it. But what you have to look at is, who is the judge, jury, and executor? If the judge, jury, and executor are not political allies, then it's not what you think it is. Right? For going after Hunter Biden, who's going after Hunter Biden? David Weiss and the DOJ. Those aren't political allies. So this is not accountability, guys. It's not, you can give me a guilty verdict all day. This is not accountability. That's not what we're seeing here. You need a political ally. Who would that be? I don't know. I don't know. Robert Barnes. Let's say if Robert Barnes was AG. And I think he's even too probably righteous and honest. And that's a compliment to him. Maybe it's Kash Patel. I don't know who it is. I don't know if there is one. But it would have to be a political ally of mine going after him. And that doesn't even mean it. That's the start of it. So who's the judge, jury, and executor? None of them are allies. It was in Wilmington, Delaware. None of them. Nobody involved was an ally. So there's no accountability coming here. And then the take is, does it distribute power to as many people as possible? No, this reinforces the unconstitutional Second Amendment laws. That's been unconstitutional for thousands of times. They've done it to charge thousands of citizens other than Hunter Biden. So you see why I'm just completely out on this. It doesn't meet any metric of what I'm looking at for accountability. If what would be example of distributing power to as many people as possible? If you took Nancy Pelosi, or if you took General Milley and somehow had them under a judicial process, I think Nancy Pelosi is the perfect example. That's the people saying, not only will maybe we can't vote you out because your district in California is a bunch of NPCs, but we can put you in shackles, though, if you don't uphold your constitutional duties. That's distributing power to maybe everybody in the country won't agree, but to more people, in my opinion. And even if you don't agree with it, it sets the precedent. This right here is upholding unconstitutional Second Amendment law, so I'm just completely out of it on it. And when you add it up and look at it, it's not doing anything. Joe Biden obviously can commute or pardon. What's the purpose of this? All this is doing is distracting, and then also giving that false appearance of, well, we're equal. We went after Donald Trump, and also Hunter Biden was found guilty. You see the games that are being played here in the fog of war. What's up? Thanks for joining. Got lazy Tuesday afternoon right now for me. Just got caught, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. Let's go and look at the, I think her name is Mia Cathell thread, and I want to see what y'all think about it. I thought this was an excellent thread, breaking it down. She does, absolutely outstanding work as a journalist. She's with Town Hall, used to be with Post Millennial. On October 12th, 2028, let's break this down real quick. Hunter Biden walked into StarQuest Shooters and Survival Supply, a federally licensed firearm dealer in Wilmington, Delaware, and answered no to the question 11E on ATF form, yada, yada. This is the federal background check form, certifying that he was not doing drugs or addicted to a controlled substance such as that cocaine. Why is that? Why do we allow? The Second Amendment is not like driving a car. If you're going to drive a car, you don't have a constitutional right to drive a car. So we can make sure you're not under the influence of driving a car, however you want to enforce it. You do have a constitutional right to keep and bear arms. And that has not been amended. So this is unconstitutional. Why doesn't this apply to alcohol? Why is it just certain drugs? This is absolutely, this came up somewhat with the Nick Rekieta stuff too, which I don't understand why there's a drug charge in the Nick Rekieta stuff. For what? What did the weapon have to do with anything? Okay, I know he had snow all over, allegedly. I don't remember the details of the case. He had snow all over there, allegedly. What does that have to do with the gun charge? Should have nothing to do with the gun charge. There should be no gun charge with Nick Rekieta. Just making stuff up. And we just been going along with it. Now it's culture. Culture is more powerful than the Constitution. By answering, I'm just going to paraphrase her post here, by answering no to that question, he was able to buy a Colt Cobra 38 special revolver. So that's what he purchased. He also purchased 25 rounds of ammunition, 2 of which were missing when the gun was eventually recovered. For the revolver, a speed loader, an accessory that enables, as we know that. Very inconvenient without it. Hunter's ex-lover, this family, man. Jeez. This family, I have a whole, I've been taking notes ongoing on how decrepit this family is. The Biden family is one of the most disgusting families we have ever seen in politics. And the notes that I've been taking are just, I'm not even going to the Dixie crack, KKK, all that, all plagiarism, all that other stuff. Just the family dynamics of that family, how the family started, before the family, Joe's career, the drugs, everything, the relationships in the family, the disgusting personalities. It is. I think it's probably the most disgusting family that's ever represented the United States. And it's funny how they come across and they sell them as some type of textbook, I don't know, perfect family, and then, oh, we've got some flaws, so that makes us relatable. And none of this relatable to me. So I don't know what to do with this, but this is going back to Haley Biden. So when we go to Hunter, it's hard to talk about him, Robert. His real name is Robert. It's hard to talk about him without talking about, his deceased brother. So the family is so disgusting that we're talking about Haley Biden here, who is the deceased widow of Beau Biden. So he was with his deceased brother's wife in all kinds of ungodly, despicable ways. These are the people that we've chosen. Everybody's got issues, but these are the people we've chosen to run the country. And not only that, you hear Jasmine Crockett and all the rest of the Black Imams praise these people like they are worthy of an admiration or something. So his ex-lover, the widow of Hunter's late brother, Beau, and he introduced her to crack cocaine, found the gun inside Hunter's unlocked Ford Raptor truck while cleaning out his car October, 11 days after the gun sale. According to Haley's testimony at trial, she additionally found remnants of crack cocaine and drug paraphernalia strewn about. And they have the text receipts that I'm not going to go through here. Haley Biden wrapped the gun in Hunter Biden's leather brown pouch and dumped it at Jansen's Market. Dr. Jason Brewer, a forensic chemist serving as an expert witness for the prosecution, conducted an analysis on the off-white powdery residue found on Hunter's brown-colored pouch. It was traces of cocaine. He had snow all over the place. In late October 2018, Haley complained about another one of Hunter's pouches containing a stem. I'm not in that life. I guess it's a crack pipe. Left at her home's library next to her son, also named Hunter. Just unbelievable. So they have the grocery store camera footage of Haley Biden discarding the gun. She used a gift bag to mask its appearance, tossing it into a trash receptacle and shopping around inside. Caught in 4K. Then comes Edward Banner, an elderly dumpster diver, rummaging around the shop's trash, searching for recyclables. So comes full circle. The dumpster diver dives in. The 80-year-old Navy veteran stumbles upon Hunter's gun and took his discovery home with him. He reportedly stashed the revolver I hadn't, covered all this, so this is real cool to have it all in here. This is where, X or links to, all these off websites are the only place you really get real news anymore. And dumped it off and stashed it in a rolled up sock tucked inside his lunchbox until a Delaware State Police lieutenant recovered it. This is the same guy who left his laptop somewhere, man. There's a security video of Hallie Biden returning to the store and frantically looking for the gun that's not now gone. At this point, she filed a police report, and Hunter was considered a victim of firearm theft. Yeah. All captured on film. I'm not going to show the film. Authorities extracted a trove of data from Hunter Biden's infamous laptop he abandoned at the Mac shop. Just a mess of a family. A computer repair place owned by this person here, John, in April 2019. Investigators also assessed his iCloud account via a search warrant issued to Apple Incorporated. And we found out in the trial that they had to, admit it to evidence. So we found out it's officially in evidence and real. Pictures and videos of Hunter Biden smoking that stuff while nude were among the visuals prosecutors presented to the jury on a projector screen. Just a lot. What's up, GB? Broken Traditions is up in here. I see said hi. You see somebody said hi to Broken Traditions. GB, thanks for signing up as a member. $1 a month. Are you also streaming on Rumble? I should be, yes. Let me double check to make sure that that is working. I should be live on the Rumbles. Before I continue, I want to pause just to make sure I don't see Hunter Biden's naked ass in one of these. Yep, and I was right. Maybe they edited it. Yeah, they did edit it, but you kind of see Hunter Biden's naked ass and a crack pipe. I'm good with that. I'm gonna pass on Hunter Biden's naked ass today. Sorry about that. Let me take a look and see if Rumble's working. Rumble is up, and I do hear sound. Rumble is working. And I am able to see comments from Rumble now in the chat. And I do have a problem with the black imams who don't call out that, of course, if Hunter Biden were just any common citizen, much less, some poor black, he'd be done, just like thousands of other people who have done the same thing before him. They were done, he would be done. Rusty says Hunter will get 0 days. I think it's about October is what I saw for the sentencing. So that could be true. I mean, you're right. You could just do it that way. Jeff said hard pass. Is that a hard pass on Hunter's ass? He had a lot on that laptop. When we talk about people being above the law, I don't know why we aren't talking about the contents of the laptop. And I'm talking about child stuff, potentially, allegedly, on the laptop. I haven't seen anything going on with that. Yeah, I haven't done a live in a while. Ollie 004 says, hey, long time since I've caught a live. Actually, it's been a long time since I did a live. So it's been a long time since I did a live, I think is what's happening. GB's been a member for 16 months. Appreciate you. Tory Mafia for everybody rising up here. Christ is King. Rusty up in here. We had a debate. We'll see if I get to that in this live. I'm going to go back to Hunter, the crack pipe, Biden right now. So for Hunter, we go through it. Hunter's ex-lover, Zoe, an online cam girl, goes by the moniker Weed Slut 420, testified against him. The two met when she performed a private session for him at New York's #1 club, the Vivid Cabaret. Must be nice. I'm gonna quickly go through that because I might be an ass cheek I didn't ask for. Maya says, quoting Zoe, "I could be sober, but I'll always be an addict," Hunter Biden texted. The defense claims that this text sounds like a step in an Alcoholics Anonymous type recovery program and not an admission of guilt. I don't like the question on the form because, well, how do we know who's defining if somebody's an addict or not? I don't like that. And separate from that, it shouldn't even be a part of the discussion. But let's even go into, if it is a part of the discussion, well, somebody could be an addict and then say, "Hey, I just quit cold turkey." We know that's probably not true in most cases, but like somebody could have been literally done doing whatever they're addicted to, and then the next minute say, "I'm giving it up. I'm not anymore." The government is not the one to tell a citizen if they had given it up or not. So I'm not even for that. I don't even understand the question. It makes no sense. The defense claims that this sounds like like I said, a step in a recovery program, and I'm fine with that. You can believe it or not, but he can have that opinion. Hunter's legal team is relying on the argument that he didn't knowingly lie on the federal form. He truly believed he was sober at the time of the gun sale. So I actually don't care what happens to Hunter. I'm not celebrating this. This is not something that I'm kind of for or anything like that. It's not something to celebrate, that's for sure. Patriots of America Republic. What's up? Fred the Show Carlos says if he were a Republican, he'd be in solitary confinement by now. Yep. You can just pick and choose at this point. You pick and choose which crimes you want to prosecute and which ones you don't. That's why when I looked at strategically in the Civil War, do I agree with it or not? I'm going to have to see an ally as the prosecutor first and foremost. I'm going to need to see a I'm going to see a Ken Abbott involved. I'm going to need to see somebody who is. I'm trying to think who would be. Shoot, I'm trying to think who would be. I'm trying to Cash Patel is somebody who's thinking. Ken Paxton. I'm looking at AGs. I don't know all the AGs out there, so I will have to look at that. But that's how I would have to look at it. Broken Tradition says, "Let's see. Speaking about this, we'll get accounts suppressed like the Hunter Biden laptop story." Yeah, I don't even know what they do anymore, man. It's just so weird. It seems like to me, if it's something substantive, it seems like it's harder to break through. You will see larger accounts. So I'm replying to great YouTube channel Broken Traditions here. Follow Broken Traditions if you are not following him right here. And he's a creator, great marketer, great channel. To me, I don't know what happens, but it seems like if you talk about Hunter Biden pooping, you can get views potentially. But if you talk about Burisma, I think it's a little bit harder. If you talk about Ukraine, it's a little bit, maybe a lot of bit, I don't know. It's harder to break through. So if you have a large account with millions of followers, you're still going to get views because you pretty much have some built-in views there, but you're not probably going to get as many views as others. Some people have broken through. I think Jackson Hinkle, however he's been able to do it, that's why they demonetize. If you are able to break through, you will get demonetized. So, for example, if I continue to talk about Nick Fuentes, do Nick Fuentes videos, and somehow break through a little bit of the algorithm, then that's when they demonetize. You will get demonetized because it's like we can't really suppress you. I don't know why they don't just super suppress you, but they don't. Yeah. So that's where that pretty much is on those. And then what it does is it creates creators, especially smaller creators, to stay away from certain topics or only talk about goofy ones. Like you can talk about Candace Owens and beefing with Ben Shapiro, which I think has some importance, but it's not really the substantive stuff that I like to deep dive into. It leans you more towards that, or Tim Pool drama. If I do a video on Tim Pool, I don't know, beefing with somebody or something stupid like that, that would have a chance to break through. If I do Tim Pool, because I've been experimenting with it. If I do Tim Pool talking about Hunter Biden, it's still difficult for me at least. Deep state sacrificing Biden, no, I don't see that. I don't see that at all. I think what they're doing is trying to legitimize what they've done to Trump. Because that people are kind of, it's not looking like it has. I don't believe in polling, but it's not looking like it's had the substantive polling effect that they wanted to. So they keep saying convicted felon. So that might be polling. The specific term convicted felon might poll in the way that they want. But overall, people don't know what's happening. It's weird because people don't know what's happening with the Trump business falsification records trial in this country. But if you believe the polling, which I might in this case, a lot of people, it hasn't changed anybody's mind because everything's baked in now. I mean, people literally unironically call Donald Trump a Yahtzee. So once you do that and it's not even a joke, it's not even hyperbole in their mind, then would a guilty verdict for anything, even unliving somebody, would it change anything? Even if it's true, it doesn't even matter the truth or not of the verdict. I don't think it would change the polling. And Donald Trump called this when he said, I could unlive somebody or I could do something to somebody on Fifth Avenue and it wouldn't matter. I think that was the right context for that quote. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was right. And it applies to a lot of them. Gadget Gal, Rumble's in the building. Won't let me create a new account. What's with? I'm not sure, Gadget Gal, but I see you on Rumble, though. Appreciate that. SJ313 on Rumble. I'm getting the Rumble comments in here. I'm feeling good because I had been missing a lot of the Rumble comments, and that's not good. GB's like, F the Biden's bunch of criminals. Yeah, they got this all worked out, man. People look at them like they're bad criminals. And I'm like, how? He's in the throne. He's in the chair. We know it was stolen, but he's in the chair. So he's been in Congress for 50 years. Just a complete savage, Joe Biden, the whole time. His mind's gone now, but don't forget, he used to be a savvy politician. Gaffes and all. He knew how to navigate. I don't even think he really was a Dixiecrat in that he agreed with the KKK. He just knew that they were a way into power. Robert Byrd and them, that they were a way into power. It was a political chess move. And I've seen memes talking about them being criminals. And I'm like, make sure you say that they've been very good criminals. They got the bags for the whole family. They all, Joe's like, I got my 10%. Joe, Hunter, you get your bag. I don't know if was Ashley in it. I think Ashley wasn't in a little bit they had so many shell companies. I think his brother's James, you get your bag. It's like they were handing out bags to the family. Now everybody knows, and he's still on the throne. He was just with the Black Iman celebrating Juneteenth. He's a hell of a criminal. Make sure you give him that credit too. One of the greatest criminals of all time, Joe Biden. Been a criminal for 50 years, accumulating nothing but money like Scrooge McDuck and imprisoning his political enemies, still on the throne, stole 2020, probably stealing it again. I mean, what? I can call him a criminal, but I'm not going to say I don't respect the bra. If the bra happened to watch this video right now, he'd have somebody knock on the door just to show his power. He is not one to be messed with. I mean, he's not Hillary. Hillary's on another level. Hillary will snuff you out. Hillary don't play. She'll have you paddleboarding in a heartbeat. She'd be like, I know how to swim. I know how to tread water. I'm not, the greatest, but I learned how to swim. I can do laps. I can do strokes and stuff like that. Hillary will have you forget in a heartbeat, put you on a paddleboard in 3 feet of water, having you not breathe in 10 minutes. So that's a different level, but the Bidens are up there too. They're up there with how did the Bidens get snuck in with Obama? They don't even like the Bidens. They don't even like the Biden. So how do they just that power, man? Those power dynamics that they play with are no joke, bro. They don't play around. Let me take a dive out of here and show Robert Barnes. Hey, Viva from Viva and Barnes. Have you made the shirt yet? Just like Alex Jones was right, Viva Barnes is right all the effing time. Except for when it comes to the funny country, which is why he blocked me, but I'm not salty though. Make the shirt. And I'm okay with acknowledging when the bruh's right. That's why I watch religiously the show every Sunday. It's the best legal show out there. Is Viva and Barnes on Rumble. They trained me. I don't even go to YouTube. They have trained me better than even Crowder. Because when they start their show on YouTube, I think they still do it. He says it. I just go on Rumble for about half an hour. And they're just chit-chatting, do a little bit of a topic. After a half an hour, it drops in their Rumble only. They train you like a dog. Just go straight to Rumble so you don't have to worry about all that. But here's Viva and Barnes. This is before the verdict. This is the show. Last Sunday, they had a great discussion.
Is that a question of supporting her son, Robert, or is that what I think it is, absolute jury intimidation?
I mean, given that she and her stepson hate each other, I don't think it's for him. I think it is to remind the jury who he is, potentially for a verdict. Though I think that there's a part of the Biden administration. I think Joe Biden himself actually wants his son convicted in one of these two cases because he wants control and make sure Hunter doesn't go talking. That as long as Hunter is subject to criminal prosecution or punishment, then he's got to stay on the good side of daddy so daddy can issue the commutation or pardon of the sentence when it comes due. And I think that's what this is all about. It's my hunch, purely speculation in that regard. And I suspect she's there as a political signal of some sort. But what it all means, good question.
Is that a question?
I mean, he was just so on point there before it even came down. I was listening to it because I was on the Viva side. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't have strong opinions here. But Viva started it out saying, which is a legitimate thought, is Jill was flying back and forth between France and Wilmington, Delaware, and taxpayers, I think, paid some of it. DNC now paid some of it. But Viva's like, oh, she's in the courtroom to intimidate or show her presence of, don't you dare convict my stepson. That's important. Stepson, not biological son.
Of supporting her son, Robert, or is that what I think it is, absolute jury intimidation?
So I was thinking, well, logically, is she there to intimidate the jury into not doing it? Barnes at the end says she's there for some political manner. That's for sure.
This is all about. It's my hunch, purely speculation in that regard. And I suspect she's there as a political signal of some sort. But what it all means, good question.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know what it means. It might not mean what you think it means. These people play chess.
To remind the jury who he is.
So Barnes starts off by saying, don't forget, they don't have a good relationship.
I mean, given that she and her stepson hate each other, I don't think it's for him. I think it is.
Remember the text messages? Were they from the laptop or he's been in so many issues. The text messages came out. I think it came out from the iCloud from the laptop. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But there are text messages where basically Robert Biden is calling her. He called her not bitch, but very bad terms for calling somebody. You could tell that there was some type of issue there. I think I have some notes here. Text messages found on the laptop called her a vindictive moron and entitled "See you next Tuesday," following an intervention she had led to address his drug addiction. So I don't know. Maybe it's one way coming from Robert to her. I don't know. Maybe it's because allegedly she was the babysitter, and maybe because allegedly Joe was doing something with the babysitter. Maybe allegedly when the babysitter was under 18. And they all know that. And obviously that's a rocky start. If your stepmom was the babysitter, And potentially before your biological mom got into a car wreck, potentially if the babysitter, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what could be happening. So Jill, and remember when Hunter allegedly took that bump, the look on Jill's face was like, oh, just she wanted to put her hands around that bruh's throat right there when he allegedly took that bump right on the balcony. Hunter screwed up rebellion. Friend of the show says Hunter is still loyal to Joe though, isn't he? See, that's the thing. It's a weird family, man. They always talk about they talk about very often like how I love my son. My son loves me. He's the smartest guy I know. And why are they so messed up? Why are they so effed up in the head? Hunter Biden and Ashley Biden, both strung out, both addicts, both leaving highly personal items. Who leaves cry for help, allegedly? Cry for help appearance-wise. Who leaves their laptop somewhere and doesn't, whatever the case was, never pick it up when you've got all kinds of evidence of crimes on it? Who even takes their laptop to a person to get fixed when you've got all those crimes on it? Don't you got somebody like from Pulp Fiction to like a backroom dude that would go ahead and handle that? Who leaves their diary at a crib for somebody else to find and see that you allege that your daddy took showers with you that you felt were inappropriate, and you've got sex problems and addiction problems? Do they really love each other? I don't know. Screwed up. Even if they do, they're politicians. So Hunter could get flipped at some point. And it makes sense that Daddy would want to make sure that Hunter owed him on this. GB, thanks for stopping by. Peace. Patriots of American Republic said he's a lying dog-faced pony soldier. There's so many Biden-isms. What a buffoon, man. Scoot Up Rebellion says, my cousin still says the Hunter. Oh, wow. Screwed Up Rebellion has a cousin that still says the Hunter Biden laptop is Russian disinfo. And my approach to that is you couldn't just drag somebody out of the matrix. Like you could, I guess, technically, if you were in the real world, and we're talking about the movie, it's so old now, a lot of people don't even know the context here of it's a fake world. The world that you're in feels fake, it looks real, you can touch, but it's really virtual reality. And in the real world, you can take something out and unplug yourself from it. And you can't unplug, I'm not saying you are trying to do that, but I'm just talking about Screwed Up Rebellion. In general, my approach is I can't just try to unplug somebody. Even if they were to agree with me, it's just a shock to the system because it took me 40-something years to get here. And it took me 40 years. So how could I just unplug somebody right away? And for me, it was the good people on both sides that kind of was there's been a bunch of them that unplugged me. Steve Johnson, what's up? Says even flowers bloom. It takes time. No instant manifestation, no instant change when unplugging from the matrix. Absolutely. Screwed Up Rebellion says, my cousin calls himself a libertarian socialist also. That's a Vosh. Vosh, to my knowledge, calls himself a libertarian socialist. That is possible. There are very contradictory terms, but I mean, to me, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I think that is possible, but I would have to hear them, your cousin, explain out what they actually mean by that. So that's what I think is happening here. I think Robert Barnes is completely on point. I don't think this is anything to celebrate. I haven't seen people celebrating it. I hope not. There's nothing here to celebrate in regards to what happened with Hunter. It's an attack on the Second Amendment, and it's an attack by political enemies. David Weiss, the special prosecutor, I guess is what his title is. He did a press conference. He was like, I got to get back to work. That was a very interesting press conference because whether he was literally getting back to work or not, I think he was using it as a is metaphor the right term? I don't know, but was he using it as to mean there's more coming with Hunter Biden? Because he said I got to get back to work. I think his only job is Hunter, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're going to go to work, it seems like you're going to go back to Hunter Biden. This is David Weiss right here. Short press conference, 3 minutes. I don't know if I'll play the whole thing. I'll interrupt this, break this one out because it's kind of boring.
Good afternoon. My name is David Weiss. I'm special counsel. Earlier today, Hunter Biden was convicted of 2 counts of lying on a form submitted to a federal firearms dealer about his addiction or use of crack cocaine and possessing a firearm while a user or addict. There have been 2 overarching themes emphasized by the prosecution during trial: this defendant's illegal choices and the rule of law. First, while there has been much testimony about the defendant's abuse of drugs and alcohol, ultimately this case was not just about addiction, a disease that haunts families across the United States, including Hunter Biden's family. This case was about the illegal choices defendant made while in the throes of addiction, his choice to lie on a government form when he bought a gun, and the choice to then possess that gun. It was these choices and the combination of guns and drugs that made his conduct dangerous. Second, no one in this country is above the law. Everyone must be accountable for their actions, even this defendant. However, Hunter Biden should be no more accountable than any other citizen convicted of this same conduct.
You see, that's where they're trying to go with this. The law, no one's above the law. That's what they're going to try to sell with this.
Prosecution has been and will continue to be committed to this principle and to the principles of federal prosecution in carrying out its responsibilities. I want to thank the jury for their service. There are few civic responsibilities more important than jury service. 15 Delawareans came to court each day and performed their responsibilities in a professional and conscientious manner. We thank them. I want to thank Derek Hines, Leo Wise, and the entire special counsel team. I am so proud of this group of attorneys, agents, and litigation professionals.
The part that I really want to take away from this is I got to get to work. Then I'll show you what that probably means. Then I'm going to go on to basically, I didn't realize we were going to talk about Christ as King, but I think that's what this topic, the next topic, is about.
This is a difficult assignment. These folks have been working 7 days a week for the last couple months, litigating a variety of issues in district and appellate courts on 2 coasts.
Am I supposed to shed a tear for them? Who cares? That's what they're supposed to be doing.
They have given their heart and soul to this work. They represent the best that public service has to offer. I am incredibly grateful. Finally, I want to thank Attorney General Garland for providing the support necessary to fulfill our mission, ensuring that we have the independence to appropriately pursue our investigations and prosecutions.
See, your political allies are not the ones going after him, and that's the start of the problems. That means you can't trust anything going beyond this. When we look at all this stuff, you've got to look at it from the standpoint of war. You've got basically soldiers on the other side of the Civil War who are the ones going after Hunter Biden. It's going to be a very low chance of anything that I would praise coming out of that.
As you know, we have additional trials and investigative work to be done, so I will not entertain questions at this time. Our work continues. Thank you for your consideration.
I forgot it was that far at the end where he was like, well, I got more work to do. That one, it caught my attention. That's the reason why he didn't answer questions. But I think he was just using that as a way to say, well, there's other stuff going on here. the federal case here. Pending tax case poses significant potential legal jeopardy for Hunter and immediate family calls him a lobbyist. So this is why I think Robert Barnes was saying he wanted him hemmed up. I think Robert Barnes wanted him hemmed up because now I've got you. You need me. Hunter can't basically, cooperate with any of this. Otherwise, Daddy won't let you out. Because I don't believe all this love stuff they talk about with Hunter and Biden. I don't believe all that. So there's all kinds of stuff in here. I had no idea about this. They were talking about FAR violations, Ukraine, China. So the same rule applies on this because this is the same guy that I just played is the one here, Weiss. This is special counsel. So Weiss is the one involved here. So I don't know where this is going. Obviously, I don't trust this if it's coming from Weiss. But you see the levers here that Biden needs just to protect himself just in case. So that's what they mean that they have more work to do. Is it going to be work to do a cover up? I don't know. We're going to have to see. But it doesn't pass the accountability test from the start. So we'll go from here. I think that's all I care about. The only thing I care about the Robert Biden is what does it mean in the civil war that we're in? How do we view it? And that's my big takeaway from it. And my big takeaways are it's the federal laws on that disclosing that you're an addict are unconstitutional. It's still fine to go after somebody unconstitutional for me now. That's something I would have never said, I don't know, maybe even a few months ago. But it's absolutely fine. It's not even being proactive. It's actually passive to do that. So you just have to know that you're doing it. And if it's going to be done, it's got to be done with allies. Like I'm not going into a battle. It's not kinetic, but you're going into a battle with somebody else, a soldier that adheres to the other side. Obviously, you would never do that. So it helps you kind of navigate where we are in this. Yep. Screwed Up says, Joe wants Hunter hemmed up. Hunter has always needed Joe. Yeah, but see, Joe needs leverage over Hunter. Hunter is a loose cannon. I mean, Hunter has always been that black sheep. Beau Biden was the one who was supposed to be president right now. Beau was the good one. Beau was the white sheep of the family. Beau was the one who was AG. Beau was the one who was buttoned up. Beau was the one who was supposed to be president right now, not Joe. Beau was the one that was supposed to be rising up as the textbook dude, the textbook politician, the guy who always had the right thing to say at the right time, the clean guy, the guy who wasn't addicted to the stuff. Guy didn't have the skeletons in his closet, to my knowledge. I mean, obviously not what Hunter had that we know of. Hunter was always the black sheep. So always the black sheep that couldn't be controlled. Some of the stuff Hunter did, I don't think Biden wanted him to do. I agree with Barnes that Joe knows he's got to have some type of control over Hunter, or Hunter can go off, he'll do anything. So a lot of people don't think Hunter is going to do any time. We'll have to see about that. Somebody help me out. This was a controversial statement, I guess. I didn't realize it. I honestly did not realize this was going to be a controversial statement. This came up earlier this morning. So I was going through some of my replies and stuff. And somebody said, this came from the Laura versus Nick conversation. And I said, Laura Loomer is 100% invested into Trump. And Nick Fuentes is 100% invested into Christ. And I think that in a nutshell describes why their friendship has cracks in it right now. And even beyond that, why they are having tension over Donald Trump and Israel and the Israel influence in our country. I don't even think Nick's talking about Jewish people in this conversation. So somebody replied to me and said, Christ is 100% Jew. And if Carlos was here, I need help from people who are more. I am not knowledgeable, never pretended to be knowledgeable in the Bible. I do have just general knowledge, though. And my general knowledge is that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what this means. Christ is. A lot of this confusion came from present tense versus past tense. The phrase is Christ is king, not that Christ was king. That's very important. Christ is king is the phrase. And this person said Christ is 100% Jew. And that doesn't make any sense to me. That makes absolutely no sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense. On face, it makes no sense to say that Jesus Christ right now is Jewish. It's ridiculous. Absolutely patently absurd. So I said, I didn't think it was going to be a controversial. It's probably one of my more controversial comments recently here. I said, it is impossible to be a Christian and believe that Jesus is Jewish. And I think people took it and ran with it, and I don't blame them, to the past and the Bible and saying Jesus was Jewish. Well, number one, I need a definition of what it means to be Jewish back then and now. I don't know. I can't define what it means to be Jewish. I don't know. Somebody tell me. But I do know that if you're Jewish, you don't believe that Jesus Christ is in heaven. You don't believe that Jesus was resurrected. You don't believe that Jesus ascended to heaven. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'll repeat it one more time. If you are Jewish, and I guess there may be some people who call themselves Jew, they're not widely accepted. It's just bizarre to me. I don't even know what that means. If you're Jewish and you believe Christ is the Messiah, I don't know. Somebody help me out with that one. I don't know. So from largely speaking, if you are Jewish, and that's not, I'm not knocking that. I'm just making statements here. If you are Jewish, you do not believe that Christ was resurrected. You do not believe that Christ ascended to heaven. You do not believe Christ is alive in heaven right now. You believe Christ is dead. So how could you be Christian and believe that Christ is Jewish right now? I'm talking about right now. I mean, which is to me what matters. If you want to talk about historical context, that's fine. That's not even what I'm looking to discuss right now. Somebody replied to me and said, Jesus was the last Jew. And I was like, I have to go back and look at that. But I can go with that term, because what that means is Jesus was the last Jew. That means there's no more. I mean, as far as Jesus goes, is not a Jew anymore, obviously, because to be Jewish, I don't know how to define if somebody's Jewish or not. But one of the things that I thought they believed is that. So Jesus obviously couldn't be Jewish and believe that part of Judaism. So I got a lot of replies on here. People said American Tire, who I have no beef with American Tire. I like the account, says this makes no sense. The reason why his words were so inflammatory. So they keep going back. You see, they're going back to the Pharisees and most Jews and all that. And I said is. And this person I was replying to said is. If this person said Christ was 100% Jew, I don't know if I would even have replied to it. Somebody help me out. Where are we going with this? It's very complicated. Screwed Up Rebellion says Jesus Christ is God. Okay. So Carlos, I think Carlos, that's correct. Jesus is a Jew. He was born in Israel and grew up as a Jew. But I'm talking about a religious Jew. So that's where I might have to have Carlos on. So Carlos, there are different Jews. Your Orthodox Jew or secular Jew doesn't believe in Jesus, but there are Messianic. There's that do believe, and that's totally biblical. But are they widely accepted? That's not what I don't think we talk about the Messianic Jews when we talk about Jews in general. So is that what we're saying? Are we saying that Jesus is a Messianic Jew? I have to even look that up to see what a Messianic Jew is. So I might, so I'm going to look that up. But let me see. A Messianic Jew is a person that identifies as Jewish and believes that Jesus is the Messiah and Savior foretold in the Hebrew Scripture. Messianic Jews maintain their Jewish cultural and religious heritage while embracing the Christian belief in Jesus as the Messiah and Son of God. Messianic Jews believe that Jesus is the promised Messiah, Savior of the world. They retain their Jewish identity, customs, and traditions. So I don't even understand what that is. So what is it to be? Why are they referred as Messianic Jews? Is it because of the ethnic part of it? I don't even understand why are they even calling themselves Jewish? Messianic congregations often observe traditional Jewish holidays with an understanding that these holidays are fulfilled in Jesus. They may also follow the Sabbath. Controversy and acceptance. Within Judaism, Messianic Judaism is often viewed with skepticism or outright, this is from ChatGPT, so I'm just reading this off, outright rejection from mainstream Jewish communities because it diverges from the traditional Jewish understanding of the Messiah and incorporates beliefs that are central to Christianity. Yeah, it's confusing. Some Christian denominations embrace Messianic Jews as fellow believers, while others see them as a distinct movement with unique practices and beliefs. So is that what we're saying, that Jesus is a Messianic Jew? Titus and Raygun says, was Jesus a beer bottle Jew? Was Christ the Christ? I'm kind of getting over not a serious cold or anything, but it's making me, when I laugh, it's making me cough. Boring Life says, was Christ a Christian? Oh, man. My middle name is Christopher. Messianic Jews also keep the Sabbath and go to synagogue. I'm not even familiar with them. Jeff O'Donnell says, I don't even know how to pronounce that, the Kabbalah, Jesus is in hell surrounded by dung, and Mary, his mother, was a whore. Jesus was allegedly fathered by a Roman soldier. Once again, this is their law and their words. I'm unfamiliar with that, but obviously that's not what Jesus is. Christian, what's up? Friend of the show, watch it on Rumble. That's why I got the chats going, so we can see my Rumble peeps. It says Messianic Jews are Jews that believe Christ is the Messiah that we were talking about while retaining. Yeah, so he broke that down. Yeah, but isn't the Messiah by definition Messianic? Yeah, I agree. I'm confused. I'm confused why Jews care. I don't even know why they care. In the Talmud, the central text of, I'm not even familiar of Rabbinic Judaism. Okay. Patriots of America Republic says original Christ followers weren't even called Christians. They were called children of the way. You can find that out in the book of Acts. Okay, good context. But yeah, you know what? I'm going to text you. I'm going to have to text you. This is Patriots of America Republic. This is Carlos and Raul. So, but I gotta hit you up, Carlos. We're gonna flesh this out in a whole new live, man. Because I didn't realize it was controversy, and I love learning this stuff, man. I really do. We talked about you, Carlos, on the weekly Rumble yesterday. Obviously, good things like one of the people we respect when it comes to faith. Screwed Up Rebellion says modern Judaism is rabbinic. Is that, if that's how you say it? Judaism from the Pharisees. Oh, okay. Okay. So then that's what I was saying. You have to break up modern Judaism from historical, right? So yeah, we'll set that up and do a full fleshed out one on this one. And does it even matter? I didn't want to make it matter at all. Oh, Food Lover, thank you. Great point on the Nick versus Lauren Loomer, which I'm going to get back to. just wanted to hear people's thoughts on this. It's very interesting. Good, respectful discussion on this. What's up? What's up, my fellow? What's up, my fellow Negro? No. Ray Infinity Show. Yeah, it's deep. And does it matter? I didn't even want to, I didn't post this because some people thought I was, which I am perfectly fine with. I'm perfectly fine with grifting. If I'm grifting, you know, I'll tell you I'm grifting with this or that. I was not even trying to grift with this. It was one of those replies that I think was in like the more, so I always quote tweet those because they hide those replies, which is so lame. And I thought it was just like a regular tweet that like many others would go unnoticed, but it opened it up. Christian says, Paul said Christians did not have to practice Jewish things. Wow. Very knowledgeable people in the chat, man. This is crazy how when you crowdsource the knowledge, man, it's wild. So I want to set this one out so we can kind of promote it days in advance to see if people are interested in it. So we can talk about just this topic. I don't know how long it would take. It will probably branch out to other topics. But yeah, it's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. I didn't realize how deep it was. Because you can go with the, okay, Jesus was Jewish, but then even people in the replies were arguing that one, and I was like, I'm not knowledgeable enough to. I thought Jesus was. I mean, that's what I thought the Bible said, but that's not. I didn't say Jesus was. I said is. So that's where a lot of the confusion came from. But Nick Fuentes and Laura Loomer have been going at it. And they went at it again. Good news is that they're going to have a discussion on a Twitter space. And this is the discussion that I've been talking about. And this ties in with a little bit of the religious stuff there, where I have concerns about the Israeli government. And there's no one more articulate than we've got Patriots. Remember, subscribe to Patriots of the American Republic. Let's remember to do that. If you're in this chat and you're not subscribed to this channel, I don't know why. This channel is giving me knowledge. So I don't know. You want to go to the source, Patriots of the American Republic. Just click on it. You should be able to just click on it and subscribe. So he's the best that I've seen, and I've been on YouTube and podcasts and X, and I listen to a lot of stuff. If I'm cleaning out the garage, if I'm mowing the lawn, if I'm doing anything that I don't have to be engaged with family or something like that, then I'm listening to a pod. So that's why I kind of don't mind doing chores a lot of the time, because I'm listening to a pod. I'm listening to different people. I haven't heard anybody articulate the point with Israel better than Carlos. But so I was chatting with somebody else, not Carlos, online, and I was like, I've got problems with the Israeli government at this point. And there's nothing in the Bible that I'm aware of that tells me that I have to agree with the Israeli government. Period. As the Israeli government has undue influence on my country. And that brings us to the Laura Loomer discussion with Nick Fuentes. And it popped off again. This is part 2. I did part 1 where I did the AI voices, and I like both of them. Put that out there straight up. I'm a fan, supporter of both of them. This makes me, I like the discussion. It makes me sad to see that it seems like it's gotten to the point where the friendship looks like it's been fractured. Of course, you can repair anything, though. But it looks like it has been fractured, so I'm hoping that can be repaired. Nick came straight out and was like, many times, Laura's my friend and all that kind of stuff. But now I don't know what's going on. But they had round 2 of the disagreement about the influence of that country. And I think it comes from that country. And let me see if I can trace back and show you what's going on here. It's kind of hard to. Twitter needs to have a beef function. Twitter needs to have a function like, okay, these two had an interaction. Let's just break down the interaction. I don't know why you can't do that, but let me take a look here. So there's a lot of different stuff going on here. So Nick has invited I don't think he's going to speak, but he's coming to. He's VIP. He's in the VIP. Salman Ahmed, I believe is how you pronounce it. He's well known in these circles now. Blew up with that I know from the pro-Palestinian stuff. But if we go to this, Laura Loomer was talking about here the hostages. The hostages could have been rescued alive, but Joe Biden needs more people to be unlived so he can win Michigan and Minnesota. This was from June 9th, talking about the tenacity and commitment that the other country employs to recover their hostages with that of the USA and the Biden administration. So this part of it came from Bill Ackman saying, and Bill Ackman is as Zionist as they come, Bill Ackman saying that the USA hasn't put the same tenacity and commitment in getting their hostages back as the other country. And before we get into the Laura and Nick stuff, my take was, for me, and I'm sad and sorry it's come to this, but it has come to this, I need hostages vetted and explained their political and social positions before I care. Just flat out, because I consider people who have been hemmed up in this country for many different things as political, they've been persecuted politically or even being held hostage. Donald Trump is in a position where he could be held hostage through a sham trial to pretend it looks legitimate. So we talk about this stuff and we say sham trial. But what does that really mean? If the trial is a sham, then what that really means is somebody is trying to illegitimately put Donald Trump behind bars as a hostage. That's what that means, as a slave. So we phrase them in these terms that don't mean anything. It's a sham, it's a banana republic. Well, what it means is they're trying to put their political enemies in prison to enslave them because it's not a legitimate judicial process. So it's not like it's justice. It's not would be in prison for justice. It hasn't been done yet, but they could. But they've already done it with J6ers. They've already done it with others that we've named. They are hostages. And don't nobody give a damn about them other than a select few. So the hostages that are hemmed up over there, I don't care about them either, unless they are political allies with me. And that's where, I'm sorry, y'all, the Civil War is not nice. It's not nice. It's not pretty. I do not care about the U.S. I need to know, are they dual citizens? Are they BLMers? Are they people who wouldn't care less or worse would want me locked up for my political positions? I am not advocating for anyone. I don't care if they're labeled a hostage or not until I know that first. Period. We're not a country anymore. We shouldn't be a country anymore. I'm not saying that lightly. When I say that, I'm not saying that to joke around. That's where we are. So I don't care. Unless you vet them and show me why. And like, oh, okay, I see this person. This is actually an ally. Okay, I might care. But it doesn't mean I'm willing to unlive innocent people to get them back. That's for sure. So she was talking about that, and Nick came out under her and laughed because the relationship has soured. So Laura says, wait a second, why is this funny? You know it's true. Seriously, Nick. Speaking of Muslims in Michigan, these are two heavy hitter trash talkers too, so this could get ugly. Why are you allowing for this bad mouthpiece to headline AFPAC? Is he speaking? He's not speaking. I don't know if he's speaking or not. I don't know. I have to double check. To headline AFPAC. I thought Nick was supposed to be some evil white whatever. He's got all kinds of, got a Muslim and VIP to his AFPAC is the America First Political Action Conference that's held alongside the TPUSA because Nick got kicked out. He's like, I'm going to start my own movement. So that's this weekend, the 15th. friend of the show, Ignoramus, was going to be there. I was hoping to be there. I am not going to be there. You want Iggy's VIP too, I believe. You want all of your attendees to be talked down to about what it means to be America first by a foreign-born, anti-white, anti-Christian Muslim invader who doesn't live in the U.S. You have decided to lock arms with some very bad people and anti-white, anti-Trump bad actors, and now I don't even think you know what you stand for anymore. How is this America first, Nick? So what she's doing, she's coming at him because Nick has been saying, well, Trump isn't America first. Well, she's like, are you America first? My reply to this is, just because you have somebody come speak to your conference doesn't mean you hold their views, Laura. Nick had Marjorie Taylor Greene come to his conference. Nick never agreed with Nick doesn't even hold women politically in the high esteem like that. And had her come through, gave her dap, respect. But when you hold, like, if I were to hold a conference, I wouldn't mind having people on the left that I don't agree with, like on race. Even though Sabby Sabs, unfortunately, and I'm just using her as an example, kind of fell out, and we were never cool, but we had a disagreement on X. I would absolutely, if I had a conference, I would absolutely be honored to have Sabby Sabs speak at my conference. We don't agree on everything politically. So what's your point, Laura? It's a conference. Well, what Nick says on the conference matters. So if Nick said something that's not America first, then I think that's full game. But you can't say just because he's got this bruh coming through the conference that all of a sudden it actually shows that he's not what people portray him to be. To have women speak at his conference, to have a Muslim VIP at his conference, Dr. Karlin Borisenko VIP at his conference. The dude's doing like DEI, like true DEI. At the conference to me. So, that's kind of where they got in and out. And Nick, I don't think Nick replied to this one, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he quote tweets her. He just goes in her replies. So you get the gist of it. I'm just going to do this here. And then, of course, Laura and I don't forget how to pronounce his name, Solomon. They have beef. They go back and forth. They've been going back and forth on Fresh and Fit, and they kind of been going at it. So Laura doesn't like to see Nick have him there. I think Nick would have had Laura come if and speak probably too. I wouldn't be surprised, but the Nick people give Laura a hard time. But this is the end take here of this. Laura and Nick both represent the divide in MAGA that I've been talking about. And I'm still undecided on this, but I think the movement will need to divide between those who are Israel first and America first. Just straight down, that's the dividing line. But you've got to be able to work together. You can't have Nick and Laura, even if they're not friends. You've got politically, they can't be an enemy. Because the other side will step on us and crush us like ants. And what us means is anyone who believes the Hunter laptop is real and problematic, and just that. If you believe that, then you're on the other side. And we are going to get crushed like ants because they don't have those problems. They work with a fascistic, dictatorial, top-down point of view where if you don't believe in the exact same thing, you're out. And the other side is more diverse, free thought, classic liberals, libertarians, MAGA, populist, nationalist, Christian, all that. So you're going to have different ideas and different beliefs and different beefs. But at the end of the day, you can't have Nick not being able to work with Laura or it's over. There's no way to win the Civil War if that side is all together and the other side is all fractured. What's happening with the Laura and Nick stuff is Trump went to TikTok. Trump said, I'm not going to tax tip workers anymore. That was underreported. That's big news for him to say that. And he can't do it by himself. Obviously, he needs Congress, but that's the leadership direction he's taking it. Why aren't the blacks talking about that? I mean, many black people work in the tipping, in the industry where there's tipping. I don't even know. I haven't heard any of the black imams talk about it. It's a very big deal. No one even says that kind of thing. Would he be able to do it? I don't know, but it means something to say it. So you go from that, all of that to me goes towards attracting Gen Z. And Nick has Gen Z, a lot of Gen Zers. He has a lot of power, even though that's why they regulated him to the depths and darks of the internet. And he still has a Gen Z figurative army. And that's the only reason I think Laura Loomer became interested in Nick, is because Nick is so powerful with Gen Z. Now Nick is saying, I still support Trump, but he's knocking Trump. Laura's worried about Gen Z. Don Jr. is worried about Gen Z. They're all worried about Gen Z. So going forward, this is going to be a problem. And even here, it's going to be problematic for Trump and all that. But really going forward beyond Trump is where this is going to be a concern. But Laura's concerned about 2024 with Gen Z. It goes against everything they're trying to do to get them. Might be wrong. What's up? Through Rumble, what's up? Thank you, wife. Weil followed on Rumble. Appreciate you. Jeremy might be wrong. Says it's called expanding your reach, having people speak with who you disagree with. Grows your audience. It's Nick is not a fool. Might be wrong. Let me read it again. Said it's called expanding your reach. Having people speak who you disagree with grows your audience. And there's stuff that Nick agrees with him on, and there's a lot that they disagree with on. But is he speaking, though? I mean, that's going to be interesting to hear him speak. But then the other part of it, Laura, is nobody's stopping Trump from speaking at AFPAC. Why isn't Trump speaking there? Why is Nick supporting? Nick still supports Trump. Why is Nick even supporting Trump now? Nick supports Trump even though Trump gets support from and supports Nick's political enemies. The people who wanted Nick banned, who still want Nick banned, the people who smear Nick daily, give Trump money and Trump supports them. Trump doesn't speak at AFPAC. Trump doesn't acknowledge AFPAC. What is Nick supposed to be excited because Trump didn't technically denounce him, but he kind of, I don't know you like that? What is he getting for it? And Trump went to speak to the libertarians. I don't even understand why. I don't even understand why Nick supports Trump. But I mean, he can do what he wants. Anybody can support Trump if they want. I don't understand it though. I'm going to end with this. This was a weird stuff going on with the Juneteenth. I didn't look into it because I honestly don't care that much. Why are they celebrating Juneteenth on June 10th? It's just weird, man. So this happened on June 10th, yesterday. I guess they're celebrating this. Is there a schedule problem? It's not June 19th. Why are we celebrating? Is this like Christmas where you celebrate leading up into it?
Today's a new day, but there is no sunshine.
Come on, I gotta tell you.
I like Kirk Franklin.
It's Juneteenth, y'all.
Today's a new day.
I need to see y'all party. I need to see some black folk party on the grass. Come on.
Kirk Franklin is dope. Kirk Franklin is dope. I've played Silver and Gold on here. I'd rather find Jesus. I mean, these are banger songs. So this is not a diss on Kirk Franklin and the family. This was me. I remember in 6th grade, the first time I went to a school dance. I never learned how to dance. I didn't know how to dance. I barely knew how to do the Running Man. Treat Them Right was a big song back in that day. So I went to the school dance, And I was like, and everybody's standing around. It's broken up between boys and girls. Let me turn my mic back up. Oh no, that's the right level. I want to keep it the same level as the audio.
Come on, let me see you party on the grass. I need to see some black folk on the grass.
I'm gonna turn it up.
Come on. I need to see some black folk on the grass.
So I like Kirk. So I'm happy with the song.
I wanna see.
But Joe Biden is lost though. This is weird, man. The whole
Come on, y'all. Where my people at? Come on and party.
even Kamala looks awkward. I think Joe let Kamala off the hook here. Now she did go on stage and dance with Kirk Franklin, which was awkward for a different reason. Not that her dancing was fine there. Right here she looks awkward. There's a bruh in a dress standing near, what did they call him? The first gentleman? Is it the second gentleman? Who's kind of rocking back and forth like he's Bill Gates in the 80s, 90s. He looks like something's wrong. He just rocking back and forth. Yo, you good, Doug? Joe Biden's pointing fingers. What, yo? Y'all gonna mess around and give Joe a heart attack, man. Ease him into this kind of stuff. He's not comfortable, y'all. You gotta make him welcome. Let him sit down and do something. Let him sit down and watch. There's so much here just to watch. It's surreal to watch the Black Iman celebrate with Joe Biden like he's someone to be around. Like, I think they're happier because Joe Biden is there. And then why do they have this famous dude? I forget his name. What is this dude wearing over here? This nigga is in high heel boots and a dress. What is going on? What is going on? Why is he in the front row? You gotta let that nigga on in the back. You're like, you can come here and you can enjoy the music. You gotta do it in the back though. I can't have you in the front, bro. What the fuck? What is he wearing? He's got like a pink and gold pajamas, like a women's pajama top. That's supposed to show off like women's cleavage. This is a bra right here. Standing right next to Kamala's husband. Oh man. It's just the fall of this country. The fall of this country is one of the most, if just from everything that I've read, from the fall of all the empires in the world, is one of the most kind of surreal things to follow. It's always one thing after another, and it just keeps getting worse and it gets worse. What, are they taping the show to do a pre-recorded Juneteenth celebration or something? I don't know. Might be wrong. Said, I miss militant black men. Damn, we all do, don't we? We would pray. Right now, we would do anything to get the Black Panther Party back. That's not even a lie. That's straight up. I straight up truth. Never even thought of it from that. I've never even phrased it from that standpoint. There is nothing. I'm turning up my mic here just in case I have the volume down. Just putting my mic full up since I have no more audio here. There is nothing. Nothing. I think there is nothing stopping me from saying I would give anything to have the Black Panther Party back right now. Much healthier. Oh, way healthier. Oh, shoot. They would, I'm talking about Huey Newton, Fred Hampton. I've talked about Fred Hampton quite a bit. would give anything. Maria Diaz said, I'm telling you, they are weird. They know they are all on camera. I think that's why it's kind of awkward for Kamala. Kamala's like, man, this is a little weird. I think Kamala knows it's weird. Doug is out of place and knows it's weird. Then Kamala went on stage and danced with Kirk Franklin. It was kind of awkward. Joe Biden asking, am I unlived yet? Am I done? Might be wrong, agrees. Men need to be men again. Founder of Black Panther said he's voting for Trump. Wow, I didn't see that. Where was that from? Anybody know that headline? Let me look that up real quick. I did not hear that. We've heard all kinds of people saying that they're going to vote Trump. Wouldn't be surprised. I'll look real quick to see if I can find the headline. Headline, founder, Panther voting Trump. I need to put a list of people who have all of a sudden said they're voting Trump that you wouldn't have expect. This is what I'm getting. David Hilliard, a former high-ranking member and chief of staff, I've never heard of him, of the Black Panther Party, has expressed his support for Donald Trump in the upcoming 2024 election. Wow. That's crazy. even Trump got support for the Black Panther Party. So I'm seeing it right now. Black Panther. So yeah, I see B Weezy, George, who's great now. He's blowing up. Covered some of his videos from Arizona. He was the best on covering Arizona. He has a great Rumble channel. Says breaking, following the New York conviction, David Hilliard, one of the founders of the Black Panther Party, has given a shocking endorsement to Trump and revealed that Trump financially supported the party. Trump's a friend of African Americans. This is a quote. And I knew Trump from the 1960s in New York, where he comes from, and he's a friend to African Americans. I think that Trump is a qualified and very decent approach to having somebody represent America. Wow, that's crazy.
Member of the Black Panther Party. I knew Trump when Trump was a college student in New York, and he supported the Black Panther Party. That's how I know Trump.
What kind of person do you think Donald Trump is?
Trump is a person who's a decent man, and he supported the Black Panther Party. That's what I just mentioned to you. He was someone who gave us money, and Trump was a decent guy. Trump's a friend of African Americans, and I knew Trump from the 1960s in New York, where he comes from, and he's a friend to African Americans.
Oh, and now when you say a friend to African American, what do you mean by friend?
I mean he's not a racist. He's not a racist, fascist white man. He supported black people. Owned every brownstone in a place called Harlem, New York.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, do you remember the time that Trump supported Jesse Jackson?
No, but I remember when he supported the Black Panther Party.
Wow. That's incredible. And how did he support the Black Panther Party?
With his money.
Whoa, for real? My goodness.
He gave us money.
So, in your opinion, Trump has always been, now that he has these 34 counts of being a felon, Trump has always been part of the black community, or familiarized at least with the black community.
That's exactly right. Trump was a friend to people of African American descent, and he owned all of Harlem.
Wow, that's amazing. So in your opinion, sir, your valued opinion, why do you think they put all these charges on Trump, and they're afraid of him to be president?
Because Trump likes Africans in America. He likes black folks. That's one. I think that Trump is qualified and a very decent approach to having somebody representing America. Trump,
yeah, I agree.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, thanks for joining. I am out. I'll have to revisit that for maybe a more deeper dive there. Very interesting. Bobby Ballbags, what's up? Appreciate y'all. I'm out. Peace.